What's up, everyone? Welcome to the stream. Hope you had a fantastic week. I'm just putting my camera up better. Oh yeah. Don't mind the boxes in the back. There's some moving coming in. Welcome. Today's schedule will be to work on the mount of our chessboard. So, without further ado, no wait, let me show you something. So recently we've been doing some testing for our prints. Let me just show you the evolution that we had. Yeah. So we've been working on our chessboard. We mainly was the king. So the first test we had was this little guy right here. And again, unfortunately, sorry for my webcam. It's not the best one for these kinds of stuff. But traditional 35 millimeter of the piece. And this one was printed on a filament printer. Then we did some testing with some resin printer. And this one over here, again, 35 millimeter with resin. To the naked eye, it is more detailed than this one over here. And we also tried with a filament. Oh, wow. So filament, and resin. And realized that this one is a bit too small. These two are a bit too small. So to test out the new size, it was in black like this. And we had a little hiccup on the arm. So we printed it with a nice platform for the new version of the 35 millimeter. And this one is actually scaled up to 40 millimeter, but the platform is still 35 millimeter. Just trying to pull it distance. Yeah. So that's our king. Working on the pawn. But today's schedule is the ram. The ram mount for our knight. Let me just put these aside. And let's begin. So as always, grab yourself some reference and grab yourself a drink. So our goal today is to do the main block out, the main shape of the ram, and these artists over here, I believe it's Artisan Guild. They already do some miniatures, so we can base ourselves on that. But we're pretty much going to go with more of an armored style, a bit like this, but not exactly the same armor. Obviously, we're going to respect their work. But it's a nice way to compare and to see your work compared to what's already done. Now this one over here, it has bigger legs than a natural ram. As you can see, they have skinny legs, really skinny legs. This one, I'm not sure if it's a ram, probably another sort of ram. But you have a big muscle on what we could say their shoulder, and then it goes really, really thin. And these ones, they kind of kept the same width, just a little bit smaller, but not too much. I think it's more appealing also the fact that they went like that, and the classic World of Warcraft style also. So these ones are thicker, going smaller to thicker. So we might go with something similar to this, and always use some real reference also. This one is a nice reference for our side. Gonna go for a little bit of a bulkier ram. I don't know if you guys saw the movie, if I'm not mistaken, it was I think it's Brother Bear. Brother Bear RAM. And you have these two guys. In the movie, there's one beefed up and one skinny, so I was kind of thinking maybe going for a similar build of this one, but a bit more cooler and less cartoony. All right, so that's that. So we have a bunch of reference, some 3D stuff, some 2D stuff, some real stuff, and even some statues. So statues can help us to see the essential without getting too much into details. The 3D stuff, we can see how to simplify stuff for gaming and still read the essentials. So grab a variety of reference and it'll help you. So let's get started. We'll go with this one first, just so we can have a main shape of the body, and then we'll go with the head afterwards. Let me just put this on side, and here we have what we used for the king's chest plate and also the pawn. So right here, it's our pawn. Just remove this out of the way. And this, what's that? Oh, I had two bodies, so there we go. Add another one. Oh, look at that. I have multiple ones. Yeah, I realized, yeah, I did some backup and all that. All right. So that's how our pawn is going so far. And I just grabbed the little head for inspiration. But just to show you guys the advancement of this piece. I think we're going to be soon ready for printing tested. And then afterwards, it'll be available for you guys. All right, so let's go back to our RAM. And one thing I'm going to do is import. I'm going to import a texture over here. I can go grab this reference that I have. So I'm gonna go get it. In the meantime, let me know how you're doing. Have any plans in the weekend? How was your week? Let me know in the comments. Won't be too long. Is it this one? No. Just realized that I didn't save the file. So I just need to find the image and copy it. I think in pure ref you can save, export. Selected image. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. So that's that here. For some reason, Zbrush always flip your image. So you flip V. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna append a plane, and on that plane we're gonna put the texture, bada bing, and we'll just size it to the proper scale. Looking at your reference. All right. And actually we're gonna put it to the side that we need. So this side, There you go. And we're gonna move it way back. Gonna put it on top over here. And let's start the blocking. So we'll start over here. We'll activate symmetry, that way I know if I go this side it'll be symmetric. Now obviously the head is too small. We're gonna do another head instead. A live one. There you go, so that's that. I'll focus not too much into the shape of the muscles and stuff, but just a regular just some regular shape to read the body well. Like that. And from here we can just control and duplicate this part. Obviously the belly is gonna be a little bit rounder, but I feel like we're gonna eliminate the belly real fast, because if the ram is too big, maybe the character will be weirdly sitting on. Smooth a little bit. So that's for the belly. That. I'm gonna duplicate that. There you go. Switch this over here. And let's see. Yep, they do have a little tail, so we're gonna prepare for the tail also. Right. So here we're just gonna separate them into auto groups. That way I can select this one, mask it, and duplicate again. Let me know in the comments if the music is too loud also. Right. So I just want the general placeholder first, and then we'll worry about the face, the legs, the tail. All right. So this one over here, we're gonna duplicate. But first we'll go on the center, and we're gonna duplicate but without the symmetry on. And I believe if we activate transparency, his shoulder starts from way up top here. It looks like that. All right. And we're gonna duplicate for the back also. Gonna put it closer. Oh, this back leg is a bit shorter, so I think it should be a little bit like this. All right, and now it's time where we decide the thickness of the leg. So we're gonna add a sphere. Like that. Just a bit. So it seems like here, shoulder, leg, other leg, well, not other leg, but shoulder, one flexion, second flexion, and then you have the foot. So here we'll go a bit similar. Just he doesn't have the same pose. Duplicate this part. A little bit shorter. And from here, I'm gonna duplicate the whole thing over here. And I'm gonna rotate it on the other side. You can use the move topology to just control one cylinder at a time. Like that. We can also add the reference over here to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong. Looking at the anatomy of the RAM. Okay, so it seems to be all in order. We're probably gonna move these legs more towards the center so we can have a better understanding of the shoulder. And here we're gonna use another sphere, another cylinder for the leg, for the foot. Kind of a horseshoe thing. Right, this we can duplicate the back. We're gonna keep, I think we're gonna keep both sides, both feet the same size. And now it's time to adjust a bit. So here. Obviously, it's not that separated from the body. What we can do is mirror weld right now so that we're working on both sides at the same time. Seem to have a little hump in the back right here. Here, the shoulder. that. I'll tend to have a little hump like that. A little, yeah, that's good. And here, same thing, just a little pinch in the middle. Can do here is just to broad the shoulders over here. Just gonna rotate these like that and mirror weld. Just gonna move that over here and mirror weld. And we can imagine maybe putting in the head like that. And you can already see something similar to what we're gonna aim for. Obviously it's not gonna be this head, and probably not this size, more this kind of size. Probably the horn's gonna be exaggerated also. And yeah, so let's start with that. Let's actually go with the head. So we're gonna remove this one. And I'm gonna separate this one over here, split hidden. That way I can focus only on the head without affecting the body. And we'll start. So here, first thing I'm gonna do is add a sphere right in the center. It's gonna help me with the skull. Alright. So here I'm gonna base myself a bit on the reference that I have in Pure Ref. Yep. So it seems like their head are really flat on the top. Like there's no curve, it's like one big nose straight. So let's do that right here. So we're gonna cut like that. So let's start with that. Okay, so we're gonna dynamish a little bit like that, and let's start some sculpting. So a good way to understand will be the cheekbones in order to place ourselves with the eyes. That if we place the cheekbone like that, we have the eyebrows over here, and I'm gonna leave some space for the antlers or the horns. I don't know if they're called antlers for rams, but we'll leave some space for them. Seem to be a little bit closer to the eyes, so we're gonna go over here, put that Sorry if I'm not saying too much, but like it's the part where I need to concentrate and really the work is doing the talking pretty much. Okay, so something similar to that. Just gonna create a little bit of shape. I think like the cheekbone is a bit too pronounced. Gonna bump it a little bit of resolution. Just go with another reference just so I can have a different point of view. This is also where you're going with your style and trying to match up the proportion that you want. Now this is a stylized ram, so we're probably gonna exaggerate the eyes, the nose. There we go. Let's create that little crack for the nose. Also for the mouth, so about here. Here, what I'm gonna do is gonna grab this part over here. Just gonna select this part. Nope, sorry. I'm just gonna crop this part. Boink. And I'm gonna grab this for the ears. Very, very small ears. Gonna add some thickness to them. Gonna remove that little bump and make it more curved. Make that line. Oh, yeah. What up, Dylan? Pangolin. Pangolin. Let me see that. Pangolin. Ben oui, un pangolin. Non, pas vraiment. On s'en va plus vers un ram ou chèvre des montagnes, je pense. Ouais. Oh, ça va, Dylan? So here we have the little ear. Looks like it needs to be closer to the eyes. I don't want this, I want this. And this, nope, this. Yeah. Let's move it over here. Un Ram 2500, meilleur véhicule de sa catégorie, mon gars. En forme, yes sir, toi? So here, I'm just gonna auto group, select this thing, and add some thickness on the other side. Here we go. So with back face mask, I'm just adding thickness without affecting the other side. And here we go. Mirror weld. That's that. We're just gonna add a little bit of actually we're gonna remove over here so it goes deeper. Now it seems like the horns are really close over here, and far from here, and far from here, close here, real close here. So I think we can choose whichever type we want at this point. I think if it's closer, it's going to be easier to read. So let's remove a bit more over here. There you go. So for the horns, we can go with this tube curve over here. And what we're gonna do is go to stroke, curve modifiers, go to size, and over here we're gonna adjust the shape and the profile of the size. So we want it thick, going a bit thicker, and going thinner. So that way we have this kind of shape. And here, I think we can go a bit over the top with something like this. I'm gonna remove symmetry just to make my life easier. And we're gonna go like this. And let's see where we can find an interesting shape. Something like that could be cool. Just snap it over here, and with this blue cursor we can adjust the curve. And here in the curve function we'll lock the start. I feel like the music is a bit loud, or is it just in my ears? There we go. Maybe it was just in my ear, so I'll put it up. Just a bit. All right, that's good. So here, what we can do is we're gonna bring this point closer to the eyes, like that. I'm just gonna move this part over here. Can relax the curve. So we're gonna go just a bit bigger. Remember, that's just a placeholder, so once the horns are placed, we can modify them afterwards. Like that. What I'll do is I'll separate the horns, split hidden. And mirror weld. There we go. So here, I feel like we're going a bit too thin in the start. So I'm going to use a little bit of inflate right here and here. Yes, sir. I think just in the middle like that. All right, that's cool. Move them just a tad. And now we have the general head face. For the face, I feel like it's a bit too small, so we're gonna go and scale it up just a bit. Yep, well, that's good. And now let's work on the body. So for the body, I'll do something interesting. We're just gonna separate the shoulders. So I'm gonna need this, this, and this. Split hidden. That way I can keep the body intact. And for the legs, we're gonna merge them with the legs. So this and this merge down. Oops, merge down. There you go. And for the foot, I think I'm gonna re-isolate them. So split hidden. There you go. So now I can work on the legs separately, the body separately, and the foot separately. Harper ouais, sur le bord de faire une petite overdose sonore. Alright, je vais baser ça. Thank you, Dylan. I hope it's better now. So here we're gonna Dynamesh. And I'm gonna hide the legs for now. So we're gonna beef up the chest over here. Boom, 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 boom. And we're actually gonna create some traps for our ram. Gonna be a bit weird, but it'll help with the beefiness. So here and here we're gonna continue on with this shape. And I think what we're gonna do is actually just ignore, whoops, I went too far. There we go. And we're gonna ignore this part of the neck, and we're just gonna add the mass right here from the body. That way, if I move the head, it's gonna be separate on its own. L'overdose sonore, est-ce qu'elle est moins pire, Dylan? So here, like that. I feel like I want something interesting, like this guy right here has a big neck. I think something like that could be cool. So we're gonna aim for that. Like that. So here, that's good. So the body continues smoothly over here. Just gonna remove the foot. Then afterwards it goes up. So we're gonna do the same. And I'm gonna remove a bit of the big belly we had and actually create more of a torso. Here we're gonna create some lats. And here we have the little bottom. Okay. As for the back, yeah, it seems like it's pretty much the leg that we're gonna work on. So here I'm gonna bring them back, and we're probably gonna split them. So front to back. There we go. So back ones, gonna move them just a bit closer, and I'm gonna bring them a bit bigger. I'm gonna Dynamesh actually. There we go. So Dynamesh merge all the pieces together for the legs. And now it's time to beef him up a bit. So we're kind of gonna go with some human anatomy over here. So we have the quadricep. Not too much, obviously. We're not gonna put him with the human leg, but just so we can understand that this is a muscle. And as for the knee over here, we can pretty much go pointier. And obviously once we're gonna pose the RAM with the character on, we're gonna have to retweak some stuff here. Just gonna grab a little bit over here. Turn them like that. And this is where we're gonna put them a bit wider on the bottom. Like that. And let's do the same on the front side. On the front side, we saw that he had a freakishly big muscle over here. And also based on this reference, this one over here, and this one over here. Front one takes pretty much all the weight over here, so we're gonna do some interesting stuff on it. We're gonna bring the shoulder quite forward. But it's a bit exaggerated, but I think it's gonna look cool. Dynamesh the whole thing. Kind of feels like it's a huge shoulder like that. And it kind of feels like a big tricep also. So the knee on this one is that way. Or could we consider it as an elbow maybe? Like that. And then it feels like this one is a bit shorter over here, and this one feels longer, so we're gonna aim for a bit same kind of stuff. And we're gonna create that cone shape that we did in the back. Alright, so here, gonna need that little joint right here. Kind of attach all this together. Alright, so for the general block out, I feel like we have the general shape and volume. Just looking at all the reference, making sure, since they're all in front, it's kind of weird to not see the back. So we can just assume how it goes in the back. Yeah. So here I'm gonna remove quite a bit. Yep, like that. And we're gonna create the tail right away, so over here, we're gonna add a little sphere, put it over here, yoink. And some have really short ones. And I think, yeah, we can see over here that this design, it was meant to have like a longer tail, and the ones in World of Warcraft are longer too, and the one from Artisan Guild, we can see them, they're short, but they're longer than reality, because this one we can't see it, this one is a small one, this one we can't see it, this one we kind of see it, so they feel like really short. We're gonna go with something like that, I think. Damn, that was quick. I love the process. Thank you, Soma. You're good to go. You're good to do cone shape. You should do a tone of these. No offense. Oh my god, no offense. Lol, with the sphere, I thought it was a balloon. A little balloon. So Dylan, let me guess, you're gonna go again and do the no offense thing for the whole stream? Yeah, it's fine, don't worry. Soma, how's it going? Thank you for the comment. It was quick. Try to be quick. Try to be entertaining for you guys. Pop the balloon. I don't know how I can do that. Okay, let me see what I can do. Okay, so here. Okay, let's see what we can do to pop the balloon. Okay, no, I don't have no idea. Just gonna do this. That's it. I'm good, and you? I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. Have any plans for this long weekend, Easter weekend? Happy Easter, everybody, by the way. There we go, so that's that. And I'm gonna squish this part. Work? Damn. You work on a long weekend? That's rough, buddy. I used to work on long weekends, and I can definitely feel the pain. It's pain. Big pain. There we go. So I think something like that could be cool. Obviously, we're gonna add a little bit of texture of fur afterwards. Alright. And let's work on those foot. My first 10 video in a day to edit, then 3 for the weekend. That's cool. Have 10 videos to edit. How much time does it take you to edit a video? Seems quite a lot of videos for just a short weekend. I think it's 3 days, right? But still, it's a lot of work. Me, we're gonna do some dinners and some parties. Actually, it is the birthday of my my better half, so we're gonna celebrate our birthday the whole weekend. So over here, I feel like we're gonna do something cool. We're gonna use the taper function like that, and we're gonna scale them up and put them just a bit lower. And what I'm gonna do is take these ones, delete them, and I'm gonna clone these ones right here. I'm gonna move them. I think it's a bit too big. Let's see. Yeah, I think they're way too big. So we're just gonna move them slightly upwards and shrink them. All right. So with the horns, kind of look cool, eh? Like a beef ram. Just gonna move a bit the shoulder. I feel like if we can go even beefier, it'll look even more dwarfish, dwarfish style. Here we go. That's cool. Obviously, we're gonna do more details to the body and to the head, but we have the general image. Can you make me some buffalo sauce? You know, a fun fact, Dylan. Buffalo sauce is good, but I feel like it's overrated. When you're looking at chicken wings, you have the buffalo, right? It's the classic. But it kind of misses something. It's like it's the sele poivre, you know? It's the general one. Barbecue has like that taste, and then you have those spicy one that has like that tanginess, and you have those sweet ones that. But the buffalo, I feel like it's always missing just one thing. You always have to have that ranch with the buffalo, right? Whiskey, oh, whiskey's good. Yeah, whiskey's good. Recently, I went to all-you-can-eat chicken wings here in Montreal, and they had like it was six different type of chicken wings, and you can either had it fried or grilled, and they were all awesome. But the buffalo one was like meh. Kind of used to buffalo, right? There was some spicy honey, salt and pepper with some spices. Another one that has like chili on it. They were all amazing. But the buffalo one, and I don't think it's their recipe of buffalo. It's just buffalo there. It's okay, right? I good too. I good too. You find the whiskey good too? I think that's how you went. But yeah, let me know what's your favorite. You make to make them. You want to make them too? can make some buffalo sauce, I'll gladly take some, or buffalo wings. But if you can make some sweet chili chicken wings, right here, buddy. Mon autocorrecteur, c'est comme un cycliste. Pourquoi dans mon chemin, il voit rien? Oh boy. Wow. These chickens are not on the road. Yes, indeed, they're not on the road. Yeah, boy, Dylan. Felt like you had a big hate on cyclists. All right, let's work on the face. So let's see if we can have a style that we want. So this face could be cool to base ourselves, and these poses are cool. So when it comes to pose, we're probably gonna take them. This is cool. Kind of a alien ram. I feel like we can learn from these shapes. This is a nice shape, nice face. This is kind of cool also. So for the structure, I'm gonna base myself on the statues. I think for design afterwards, we're gonna go with these ones and the concept arts instead. So yes, so I think I'm gonna just scooch them. This one over here, this one over here, this one, and I think this one also just to see a bit better the angles, because they're always hunched back or looking in front like this. So yeah. In plate. Kind of don't understand what you're saying, Dylan. Feel like your cyclist autocorrector is messing you up. Alright. So I'm gonna add a little bit more subdivision. Gonna work our way the nose to the top. I feel like we have this little little caved like muzzle over here. You can see it over here also, and this here. I feel like kind of our little line that we have over here, but for them it goes really far. I'm actually gonna carve it first. And then I'm gonna add some volume. gonna remove a bit over here. I think a good thing to add now would be the eyes. So where's my little ball? Right here. I know it might be confusing to look at the screen right now because you have half of it covered by the reference. But it's easier for me to have the reference closer. Hopefully it's not too overwhelming. So the eyes are gonna be a bit like this. Mirror in the weld. And what I think I'm gonna do is to grab the head with the horns and the eyes, and without the reference image, I'm just gonna tilt it. Yeah. So now it's looking a bit more forward and less downwards. And from here, we can work on our shapes. So we wanted angry, that's for sure. Like that. Move this part over here. And let's go and zoom. They seem to have a little pocket over here. Just gonna remove the horns for the moment. The horns. I don't know why I'm having so much difficulty to say horns. Horns. Here we go. Alright, so that's that. They have a little pocket on the bottom. That's the lower lid. I feel like that's really big lid right here. And then afterwards it goes in. And this is where you realize that the ears are nowhere where they're belonging. Nowhere near where they're belonging. So we're gonna fix that right here. So I'm gonna mask this part. Mask it over here. Reverse the mask and oh boy. It's better. Let me just move the reference over here somewhere else and gonna add a bit more resolution. Yep. Let's bring it back. Okay, this part over here. Bring some life into these ears. Gonna carve in. Here, we're gonna create somewhat of a jawline. So if you're using reference, a good tip that I learned recently is you look, you draw. You look, you draw. Don't draw without looking as frequently, because you need to look often. If you're just drawing for like about, I don't know. So if you're drawing for like 1 minute without looking at the reference, well, between the whole minute, you might just go freestyle, and then you realize that your proportions are wrong. And it might be good for some stuff, but right now I just want the shape to be remotely close to what we have over here in the reference. So let's say I'm focused on this part over here of the eyes. So I'm gonna look at the curve and try to mimic it and look at it every time. And it's a habit to take. It's tedious, and it's probably not automatic for you, and it isn't for me either, but it's a good practice to have. That way you're sure to follow your reference and there's less mistake. Because yeah, we can read this line easily, but every time you look at it and you compare, and you can find where things are not similar, and then you adjust it. So here we want that line a bit more inwards, and this one is going slightly, it softens slightly. Well, this one is really inward, so we go really inwards. And then you have that small lid, but I think we don't have enough resolution for that. And even the picture doesn't have enough resolution. Right, so here we have that hole over here that we didn't do. There you go. Let's fill the space. Have the ears that it's going inward over here. It's connected, and it kind of feels like one filled up space, and then it goes out. Already we have a better looking eye than what we had like 1 minute ago. So here, just around the horns, we have a little bit of skin going. Some skin action just folding around. Gotta smooth things up a bit and add more. There we go. Now let's fix a bit more on the nose and the mouth. If we look over here, it feels like this part over here. Well, actually, we're just gonna move this part. That. And we're probably gonna do a bit like I do with the chin. So here we add some mass. Remove a little bit on the bottom of the neck, because now we can't see it. Probably if we can find another reference. See here, that statue is really flat. Here it's really soft. Here it's really soft also, so we can add some fur afterwards. And yeah, I think we're just gonna do like that for now, and then afterwards we're gonna add some fur to cover it up. There we go. So already without the horns, it looks a bit more like a sheep, right? Maybe I'm the only one to feel like it, but you tell me. So here, right here, gonna work on those nostrils. And you're probably thinking, yeah, but where's the stylized part going afterward? We're gonna do it after. Because the important part is to read the animal first. And then we can modify it to the shape that we want. It's like the anatomy. If you start with a human and then you go with a dwarf, you'll already understand way better the anatomy of your dwarf afterwards. So we're gonna add a little bit of lips right around here. I feel like this one was munching grass. That's why it has a funny face right now. Go. Now for the purpose of our stylized part, here we have the eyebrows and this one doesn't have eyebrows, so we're just gonna keep this for the moment. So look at the jaw. I feel like the lower part is a bit too wide. And if we put the horns back. All right. Now I think it's a good time to go with some stylized features. So we're gonna grab the concept arts. And let's make a bunch of changes. So here we can bring the eyes a bit bigger. And the nostril, we can do some stuff also. We can accentuate the eyebrows. Add some fur afterwards, but that's going to be later. And a bit more of a readability in terms of the character. So here, let's do something similar with the nostril. So we're gonna go with a bigger nose. And here we're gonna make that little crease over here. That's for the nose. For the mouth, we're gonna wait. I just want to see how the eyes are gonna look first. So let's go with something interesting like this, but not the whole horns part. I just want the nice curve. The nice curve over here. That. And you can see over here it has that little line over here for the eyebrows, so I'm thinking could be cool to have something interesting like that. And then we can move this part right here. Feel like it's going flat, like it has that angle over here, so I'm trying to reach the same kind of effect. Like that, and I think we're gonna go closer together over here. So for the eyes, does it read enough angry? I feel like it doesn't read enough angry, so let's move it. Yep, that's better already. And we can do some interesting stuff with the muscles also close to the eyes. Something like that. A little bit of carving sometimes helps to let your imagination go. Something like that. Feels like it's really angry and it wants to hit you with its horns. And here for the mouth, we can go something like that. And for the pinch, we can go something like this. A little bit of indication that we're gonna add some fur. You can have that nice S curve going. And there was let me see those eyes. So this one looks pretty much like just a soft eyelid, really soft. These ones also. These one also. So I kind of want to keep this part of. Oh, this one is also soft. Okay, so I was gonna say I like this part that it's like going in. Oh, but it was my mistake. Haha. It doesn't go in. It's just a lid. Just some skin. All right. So it's already looking way more cartoony, not cartoony, but stylized and menacing than before. I think what we can do is just shrink a little bit the nose. Yeah, now it feels like a strong ram. I think here we can go and carve in the ears a little bit. That jawline. There you go. Still feel like the head is a bit too small. So when we're looking at these references, the head is really big. The World of Warcraft looks really big. So let's adjust this. I feel like the horns are good. So this one we don't need. It's really just the head. Oui, monsieur. Yes, sir. That looks good. All right. Look at that. Let's save. Just realized. Zbrush. For the first save of the day. All right. That's been pretty cool. They're using like the dwarfish style of doing braids on the ram. Might be something interesting to do. This one is more of a flowing hair, flowing. And then this one has his mouth open. This one too. I think they did multiple heads, so one mouth closed, mouth open. I think. Yeah, I feel like it's the same head, but just replace the hairstyle. That's cool. So since we're only doing one mount, we'll just focus on one head. Now then, let's do a quick short break, and afterwards we're gonna focus on the horns, and maybe we might already post the ram so we can do the armors already posted. So I'll be right back. All right, folks. Let's go with the horns now. Smooth them a little bit. A bit more volume to it also. And you see, like, these ones have this little concave action going over here. This one has a little bit more of a line going over here. This one too. This one has these lines, very interesting, very nice. This one also. So what we can do, if we want to do something similar to that, is we can create a brush for that. And I think that's what we're gonna finish the stream with. So now we have the general shape of what we want. So yeah, let's create a brush. So here we're gonna make polymesh. We're gonna go with a cylinder, but with a few resolution. And let's see what we can come up with. So over here, we're gonna, I think we can extrude these two parts over here and scale them together. I think this one also could be cool, just one singular one. And to just scale it down like that. So have fun with the shape that you want. Just some weird shape at first. Yep, so what I'm going to do over here is scale it down like so. And what I'm going to do is put it over here. Whoops. I just want to look it forward. Yep, like that. And actually, no, yeah, we're gonna bring it back up like that. And let's go with another 2. It's looking weird at the beginning, but you'll see soon. That. What I'm gonna do is crease this part, divide once. Actually, no. Group by normal, then crease, then divide once, with the crease action going to level 2, level 1 actually, and apply. Alright, and now we can, it's probably going to be ugly, but we're trying something. So increase insert mesh, new. And from here, we're going to go into stroke, curve mode. Let's reduce the step, and we're going to actually go over here to modifiers in the brush menu, weld points, and increase the resolution to level 25 and remove the tree parts. Now if we go back over here, have this shape. kind of weird shape in the beginning, but give it some love. So here we're gonna bring the depth to 0, because now when I do my curve, when I do my curve, it's going along the curve instead of on top of it. And if we go into stroke, curve modifier, size, and we go over here and pretty much do the same thing we did with our curve. Reduce the size. You have this funky action going. Now what we can do also is use the curve that we already have over here. I'm going to duplicate it first, so we have a backup. And here, I'm just going to use 2 rows. So I'm going to go polygroup this one. I'm going to isolate it, delete the rest of it. And let's just test it out first. Yeah, okay, so it's connected. We don't want that. Okay, so it's the border. So here, we'll delete that. We'll delete these points. And we're gonna polygroup 1, and now we have the curve. Sorry. With the curve selected, we have our new brush. Just gonna shrink it down to maybe 10 for now. And if you click on the curve, it applies your brush already to the curve. So from here, we can go and bring it up to maybe 25. And here we go. You have our curve. And I think we're going to go up to 30. And what's pretty cool with that is instead of doing again the curve, we just use the one that we have right here. And now, since we're going on top of the horns that we already have, we can pretty much apply the same curve all over the whole thing, or we can decrease and click again, and now the curve is inside. Now obviously this curve, these horns are just not big enough, so I'm probably gonna have to increase the step. Oh, whoa, not that much. How's that? I think that's good. Let's increase. Do I have like 2? No, I don't. 53. Feels like it has 2 two curves, one on top of the other. Ah, yeah, it does. Okay, so let's remove 1. Okay, so we're gonna do that out again, I think. Yeah. Oh, it's because of symmetry. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. So let's go with 100. It's a bit too big. 80. 60. 60 kind of looks cool. I just feel like it's going too inwards. There we go. Just a bit more. 29. Oh yeah. And here, what we can do is grab these little fella, Control Shift A, delete hidden, and mirror world. And look at that. Kind of a skeleton-ish funky stuff, but it's pretty cool. And now we remove our curve, and we can tweak it. So here, actually, we can, before removing the curve, we can go back to our item, go to the stroke, and into curve modifier. We'll just increase this part. Wait. What was it? It was 63? Yeah. So I think we'll go even higher. Yeah. I'm gonna scooch our curve. Oh, I want this curve to be scooched. And I think they have snap, yep. Actually, you know what, since I just want to move the curve, I feel like this side is a bit more interesting, so we're gonna reduce the stepping. Let's increase it. No, it doesn't change, so. .4, yeah, 0.4, 0.5 maybe. Nope, not this one, this one. Okay, so I think we're gonna go with. I feel like this one is better. This one over here, one on the left side. So we'll remove the curve. I'm gonna grab these ones over here. Control Shift A, well. Control Shift A, delete hidden, mirror on one side. Then I want to split the unmask. Yep, that's good. This one we're gonna delete it. This one we're gonna bring it right here. Probably gonna scale it down just a bit. And now here, this one. Mirror this one. Yes, sir. Now we can just move the parts so it fits in. Like so. You can see, just a matter of seconds, we made, just a matter of minutes more than anything, but just made these horns a bit more interesting. And on top of these ones, we can sculpt some details. We can add that little line that we saw. Something like that. And the fact that it's separate pieces, we can also sculpt one part individually, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna just dynamesh the whole thing afterwards, so that way it closes everything and make sure it's watertight. But for now, I think it's good. Look at that. In 2 hours. A RAM. Just gonna remove this image. We can try to bring our warrior on, but I know he won't be sitting well on this. So this one, and let's try to add our little character on top. Oh, it's super heavy because it has 15 million polygon. Yeah, so you can see just a bit of how it will look like. Yeah, pretty good now. We have some issues over here with the bandage, but it doesn't matter. It's not even him that's going on the ram. It kind of feels like the pose is pretty good for that to work. Good. Yeah, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. So, hope you enjoyed the stream. I think that's pretty much all we're gonna do for today. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Happy Easter, and I'll see you next week. Peace. Oh, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, the whole shebang. Yeah, please. Thank you.